President, will you come talk to us?
And you can count on us to eliminate the filibuster. Eliminate the filibuster, and let's get some stuff done for America.
As soon as the act goes into effect, I hope that all of the provisions will begin to work. I know that those who've been blaming President Biden for the inflation going up are now giving President Biden all the credit for inflation going down. So we're moving things in the right direction already.
And what parts of the bill do you think will quickly work on that specifically?
Next question.
Will other city services have to be cut to pay for this influx of migrants?
We're going to have to continue to pivot and shift. It's clear that we have a fixed budget in this city that we passed a few months ago, and we're going to look at each level of spending to make sure that we could address the needs of our legal obligation and responsibility. And I think that sometimes people don't realize that not only is this a humanitarian response we're doing, but by law, we're required to ensure that anyone that arrives at this city should have shelter if they need it.
Many of us here at the department and across the government, and millions of Americans and Afghans alike, are mindful of today's meaning as the 20-year-long U.S. military mission in Afghanistan ended nearly 1 year ago. Ending the longest war in American history was never going to be easy. But 1 year later, we are in a stronger position as a country because of the president's decision.
Madam Speaker, I almost see glee in their eyes. I wonder, and I know there's not a lot of them here because they can vote by proxy. It's the only chamber in the history of America that has ever allowed that. Not even on the Senate side. This bill wasn't debated here, wasn't talked about, but a lot of people are going to phone it in. They started this Congress with trillions in wasteful spending that caused runaway inflation. Their answer was to blame everybody else. Now their answer is just to deny there's inflation and say it's zero. But today, now they're choosing to end the session by spending $500 billion more of your money, raising taxes on the middle class, and giving handouts to their liberal allies. Passing this bill today means more expensive bills for Americans tomorrow. And everyone who says otherwise isn't telling the truth. But of all the bad parts of this 700-page bill, the massive expansion of the IRS is the most chilling. Madam Speaker, I wonder if we could ask the same question, and oh boy, I imagine America will ask that in just roughly 87 more days. They won't just ask it, they'll answer the question even if it's not asked, if they're better off than they were 2 years ago. But they'll probably ask the question, is America better off with 87,000 more IRS agents? Currently, the IRS has almost 80,000 employees. So you're going to smile, you're going to vote for it. A lot of you are going to mail it in because you're just going to vote by proxy. You're going to pass a bill you never debated, but people voting by proxy. You're going to double the size of the IRS. They have 80,000 employees. Democrats want to double its already massive size. You're going to spend $80 billion of hard-earned American taxpayer money to hire an army of 87,000 new IRS agents. Why would you even propose that? Because you say, oh, it pays for the bill. Madam Speaker, the House is not in order.
The House will be in order.
I got plenty of time. I think I will. I appreciate the... Unlike most of the Democrats, Madam Speaker, I have read this bill past the title. And the facts about this bill are just astonishing. It sends $27 billion to a fraudulent national climate bank. Put that in perspective. That's triple the size of the EPA's current annual budget. Madam Speaker, as I go across the country, I look through the gas stations and people cry about how much it's costing them. You chose to raise it higher, but not to give relief to the American public by lowering the gas price. Along with that slush fund, it hands out tax credits like candy with no accountability. But when it comes to natural gas, which heats our home, cooks our food, it raises taxes. To fund their socialist scams, your energy prices will now go through the roof. Madam Speaker, I look forward to every Democrat who votes for this bill, be it in person or how they phone it in by proxy. How do they explain to their constituents this winter when they're making a choice about whether they pay the energy to heat their homes, or they cut back on the gas to fill their tank, or they no longer even buy the food they look at the grocery store because it just comes too high, they have to change. Madam Speaker, as they continue to raise trillions after trillions, when everybody warns them what they do is wrong, they don't care. They just want to double down to the mistakes they've already made.